Boom goes the r/NuclearRevenge. Posted by you/PerfectHamburger812. Steal my money, take my house, put me into debt. Now it's time for me to ruin your life. Repost from r/ProRevenge as people said it belongs here. My ex stole from me close to 90k euros which I saved up for 9 years, and when I took her to court, I lost due to lack of evidence. At the moment I felt destroyed and lost it all. She even sued me for emotional damages and I had to pay 5k euros. So I was forced to sell my house and take a big loan from the bank. I stayed at a friend and helped me find some good lawyers. And we just found an amazing one. In one day he helped me so much and even helped me get the info of who took money from my bank account. Something was wrong. 29th of June a transaction happened in my name. I never made it, I was not in the country at the time. Well, would you look at that? I was ready to get back into court when I found out that she bought my house. Well, I have a safe that I never told her about hidden in the bathroom behind a cabinet. Well, she ruined my life, why not ruin her even more? So I had an accomplice that helped me buy some drugs, worth about 400 euros and used a friend to hide it there. The safe has a 4-digit code, that being 0000, never got to change it to something else. And before taking her to court again I had that same friend who hid the drugs turn her in. It took about a week for the cops to receive a mandate to search the house. They found nothing in the first 2 hours, and they wouldn't if my friend forgot to leave the safe cover open. That 400 euro worth of drugs are equal to a 5k euro fine and 12 years of prison. Well, I'm not done yet. Court time again. I had my lawyer get the footage from when the money from the bank was transferred, and also I had a document showing that I was not in the country at the time. We also found out the account to which the money was sent to. The name was that of my ex. Well, look how the tables have just turned. My lawyer also demanded payment for emotional damage, all the money that was stolen, the house, and also money equivalent to 2 times the debt I had in the bank, which is equal to about 140k euros. The look on her face when everything came down crashing on her was totally worth it. And on top of the 12 years from drug possession, she received an additional 25 years for theft and false testimony. Enjoy it, female dog. Posted by you/Johann Dragonheart. Assistant from hell. Let me preface this by saying that I'm still going through some mental issues because of what happened in this story. Background: I was born with cataracts that later became glaucoma when I turned 5. After some years something happened that caused me to lose all vision in my left eye. This meant that I needed an assistant for the rest of my education. Now that you're all informed. The story: when I was starting middle school, my parents found an assistant to help me with moving around my school. I'll call her Ella for simplicity's sake, anyway. Ella friendly to me and my parents, so they didn't have to worry. Ella did her job and she was very friendly with me. ANDTHENITBEGAN. One day Ella didn't come to school. She called my dad saying that she got in an accident on the road. It was fine, she got in accident, it wasn't her fault. I spent the first 2 weeks of school trying my damnedest to explain why I couldn't write the work and give a convincing argument, and walk around without bumping into every wall and person. On top of that, Ella became more and more hostile as the months went by. She then began telling me awful things about my appearance, my personality, and she even talked shit about my parents to other teachers who were just as scummy as her. The only reason why I didn't say anything was because she made me think that doing so would get me expelled. Me being a stupid 13-year-old, I believed her. Needless to say, I was miserable. The straw that broke the camel's back was the day where she was so angry that she slapped me. I was done. The revenge. I told my dad about everything. The absences, the slander, everything. When I told him, he went absolutely apeshit and we went straight to the principal. After telling her everything that happened, we found out that Ella was present to write herself up as present, but she never arrived to help me. We also found out that she had faked most of her reasons for absence. After a long investigation that took 2 years to actually prove, we took Ella to court. I only had to testify every single detail of what she did and what she said. Long story short, we won that case and Ella went to prison for 3 years. After word got out of what Ella did to my family had heard that her friends and family basically disowned her. She also lost the remaining custody of her kids, which went directly to her ex-husband, who works as a vendor that passes by my school. Ella became forgotten garbage. It's been almost a whole year since Ella went to prison, but I sometimes still hear all the terrible things she's said. Thanks to her, I'm scared to make decisions because I can't get her words out of my mind. I'm going to start school soon, maybe I'll finally get that demon woman out of my head. Edit. Thank you all for the kind words. Honestly, I thought that this was going to get ignored. At the time of writing this, I'm going to start my 2nd year of high school. I'm just happy that even strangers on the internet are willing to say such nice things. Thank you all for the support. Edit 2.0. Oh my god, thank you for the silver. I've noticed some comments confused about my condition. I'll clarify. To be perfectly honest, I don't really know how it happened. I don't remember, since it was a long time, at least for me. After Ella stopped being nice is when I started seriously learning how to use a cane for blind people. Posted by you/AlaskanBear572. Shoot my uncle and disappear. A repost as not for pro-revenge. And was removed. Sorry for the post grammar. Backstory: this was over 50 years ago and I am sure no one involved is still alive. I was told about this by my father during a hunting trip when my father was a little drunk one night. On to the story. As said before, this happened over 50 years ago. My father and his brother, my uncle, and a few of their biker/truck driver friends were in a bar drinking. While enjoying the drinks and music, a small bar fight broke out between two guys a couple tables away. My uncle has always been a nice guy and would never raise a hand in anger and go out of his way to help others. He gets up, walks over and separating the two guys and tells them to just knock it off and enjoy their beer. My uncle stands above 6'8" and was as strong as he was tall. The two guys sat down and one just gave my uncle a dirty look. My uncle rejoined my father and his friends and went back to enjoying their drinking. The guy with the dirty look got up and left the bar. My uncle was sitting with his back to the door when the guy came back in and walked right behind my uncle. Before anybody could act, pulled a gun and shot my uncle in the back. The guy turned and ran back out of the bar, got into his truck and drove off. One of my father's friends grabbed the other guy and took him outside and got the information about his friend and told him to leave town and never come back if he knew what was good for him. They took my uncle to the hospital as it would be faster than waiting for an ambulance back then. The next day, after a long surgery, my uncle was going to survive, but the bullet severed his spine and he would never walk again. Once they knew he was going to live, my father and about 5 of the friends took the info they got and tracked down the shooter, busted down his door in the middle of the night, took him and his gun someplace my father would not say. At this place far enough away no one would ever hear what was happening. They beat him for hours until his arms and legs were pretty much mush, and my father said the man just disappeared that night. The police asked about what happened to my uncle but was told it happened so fast nobody saw a thing. The bartender was a friend and said the same. I lost my father over 33 years ago to cancer, and my uncle, well, he lived for a good life until complications to his legs and they had to be removed. He passed on about 20 years ago. I feel safe on writing this as there is no body left alive connected to that night. God bless my father and his friends, not allowing a coward such as this to walk away without a bunch of karma getting him. I miss you, Dad and Uncle Jay. Sorry for it getting long. Was hard to write.